As we all know, North Korea and China have always maintained a very close and friendly relationship. Since the founding of the People's Republic of China, China has given strong support to North Korea in all aspects, especially during the Korean War. After entering the 21st century, in order to further strengthen the economic cooperation between China and North Korea, the Chinese government spent $380 million to build the new Yalu River Bridge, hoping to promote more trade exchanges and economic development between the two countries through this bridge. However, surprisingly, this bridge, which has been built for 10 years, has not yet been open to traffic, and even the approach bridge part in North Korea has not yet started. This makes people wonder whether the new Yalu River Bridge, which China has invested heavily in, has any special strategic significance? Why has it not been officially opened yet? If you like our video content, please click to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can receive all our latest video content. Now let's get into today's topic. In 1950, a civil war broke out in North Korea. In order to cut off the supply line of the Chinese army, the U.S. Air Force carried out a fierce bombing of the Yalu River Bridge, which caused the Yalu River Bridge to be severely damaged and almost turned into a waste bridge. As far as I know, the Yalu River Bridge is 946 meters long and has 12 bridge holes, one of which is specially designed as an openable beam structure to facilitate the passage of ships. At that time, this bridge was the only traffic route between China and North Korea. Although China and North Korea repaired the Yalu River Bridge together after the war, the old bridge gradually became overloaded over time. Due to the long-term lack of maintenance, the bridge's carrying capacity is very limited. Large trucks over 20 tons cannot pass through it all, and the bridge deck has only one-way lane, which is obviously difficult to meet the growing trade needs and modern transportation requirements. After entering the new century, China, a country known as the infrastructure maniac, decided to rebuild a new bridge on the Yalu River to serve the needs of bilateral trade in order to further promote bilateral economic and trade exchanges with North Korea and cultural exchanges between the two countries. It is said that once the new bridge is completed, it will become an important link for exchanges and cooperation between China and North Korea. It will not only make exchanges between the two countries more convenient and faster, but also have a far-reaching impact on the new economic development zone along the Yalu River. This bridge is not only expected to greatly promote trade between China and North Korea and facilitate people's travel, but also drive the surrounding tourism industry and regional economic development. At the same time, it will also become a new symbol of friendship between China and North Korea. In 2009, when Chinese senior officials visited North Korea, the two countries reached a consensus and decided to work together to build this bridge. According to professional estimates, the cost of the entire bridge is expected to be $380 million, which is an astronomical figure for North Korea, whose annual GDP was only about $13 billion at the time. Therefore, China took the initiative to offer to bear 80% of the huge cost, so that North Korea only needs to be responsible for the construction of the section of the bridge on their own land. According to the project plan, the new Yalu River Bridge is located about 10 kilometers downstream of the old bridge. In May 2010, the construction of this new bridge across the Yalu River officially started. What is amazing is that this project is not simple, but China completed the main project of the new Yalu River Bridge in just 4 years. The entire bridge is 20.4 kilometers long, 33 meters wide, and has 4 lanes in both directions. At that time, it was expected that the bridge would be officially open to traffic in 2015. The completion of the Yalu River Bridge was originally a matter of pride. It is not only expected to continue the deep friendship established between China and North Korea after the war to resist U.S. aggression and aid Korea, but also to promote the common progress of the two countries. However, unexpectedly, although China has already completed the main project of the bridge, North Korea has been slow to start building the approach bridge. As a result, the new Yalu River Bridge has not been open to traffic so far, and it cannot play its important role in promoting trade between the two countries. Now 10 years have passed, and the new Yalu River Bridge seems to have become a scenic spot that can only be viewed from a distance, and there is still no possibility of opening to traffic. So why is North Korea reluctant to build this approach bridge? In fact, North Korea has not started the construction of the approach bridge section of the new Yalu River Bridge, which has caused a lot of speculation. Some people think that it may be because North Korea has not been able to keep up with China's construction pace, and their own technological development is limited, so the project is not started. First of all, the terrain in the area where the new Yalu River Bridge is located is very complex, which has brought a lot of trouble to the construction. That place is mostly hilly and mountainous, with steep terrain, and the climate is not very friendly, which has indeed added a lot of difficulty to the project. Especially in the early stages of construction, facing complex terrain and unpredictable climate, the progress of the project was greatly affected. Of course, management and funding issues cannot be ignored. In the process of bridge construction, huge capital investment is indispensable, and careful management and reasonable scheduling are also required. Although China has borne most of the costs of the main bridge project, North Korea is also responsible for the construction of the approach bridge, port facilities, and supporting roads. These projects also require a lot of financial and technical support. However, North Korea's economic situation is not optimistic. It is indeed a big challenge for them to quickly raise enough funds and promote related construction. Another reason is the problem of North Korea's nuclear weapons development. Its ability to obtain foreign investment and technical support has been greatly restricted, which has also made them encounter many difficulties in participating in large-scale infrastructure projects. Since North Korea conducted its first nuclear test in 2006, the United Nations has passed a series of resolutions to impose sanctions on North Korea. These sanctions have continued to this day. Subsequently, the United States also imposed economic sanctions on North Korea. Under the pressure of double sanctions, North Korea had to endure various difficulties. Although North Korea agreed to build a new Yalu River Bridge with China in 2010, this is probably because North Korea hopes to take this opportunity to gain some economic benefits and thus increase its efforts in nuclear weapons research and development. However, as the United Nations and Western countries further intensified sanctions on North Korea's plan to strengthen economic and trade cooperation with China was strangled before it took shape. Even after the successful completion of the bridge in 2014, the exchanges between the two sides were limited to some symbolic exchanges, which seemed a bit short-lived. At that time, many businessmen who smelled business opportunities flocked to Dandong, hoping to invest in the new Yalu River Bridge. They were looking forward to the fact that Kim Jong-un, the supreme leader of North Korea, would give up the development of nuclear weapons so that the sanctions from the United Nations and the United States might be relaxed. Unfortunately, things did not develop in the direction they expected. Kim Jong-un still insisted on promoting the development of nuclear weapons, which means that North Korea's investment in the economy is very limited. Because of this strategic choice, North Korea is not very enthusiastic about economic development and naturally will not actively seek to conduct close trade with other countries. After all, the current situation does not allow it. In other words, North Korea is more willing to invest resources in the military field and ignore the progress of people's livelihood and science and technology. Furthermore, if North Korea's military products cannot find buyers in the international market, it will be difficult for them to obtain enough funds to continue to support the development of the military industry. However, I think that although North Korea prefers to vigorously develop the military industry, if they can establish a stable trade channel with China, North Korea still has the opportunity to obtain some financial support from military industry investment through economic cooperation. This may also alleviate the pressure of sanctions imposed by the United Nations and the United States to some extent. But there is another reason. The old bridge on the Yalu River is still in use. Although there are many restrictions on traffic, trade between China and North Korea has not been completely interrupted. Perhaps North Korea also took this into consideration and felt that since there was already a channel available, it was not in a hurry to build a new bridge. However, North Korea's negative attitude towards the new bridge also makes people speculate that the original agreement to build a new bridge may be due to certain political considerations. It is precisely because of these complex reasons that the new Yalu River Bridge has not been officially put into use in the past 10 years. Interestingly, although the new Yalu River Bridge has not been open to traffic, there is an endless stream of people coming here to visit, and the increase in traffic has directly driven the development of local tourism. At present, more than 70% of the economic exchanges between China and North Korea are carried out through the border port of Dandong, which further highlights the importance of Dandong in the relationship between the two countries. Dandong has become a key economic lifeline and is expected to continue to play an important role in the future. The new Yalu River Bridge is not only a more stable bridge. Its wide bridge deck and two-way lanes greatly improve the traffic capacity, especially the design of 4 lanes, which can easily handle a large number of vehicles. If we want to further open up the hub of the Eurasian international economy, the new Yalu River Bridge is undoubtedly a key step, and it is a necessary step. The leaders of China and North Korea have met many times in recent years and clearly stated that they will maintain the traditional friendship between China and North Korea and continue to promote friendly cooperation between the two countries. Therefore, it can be foreseen that the exchanges between China and North Korea will only become more and more frequent in the future, not less. In order to ensure that the common interests of the two countries are protected, the new Yalu River Bridge will be open to traffic one day. To not miss out on our future projects and news updates, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We will continue to provide you with more exciting and interesting content.